So one of the great benefits of the Suzy system is its flexibility. And that goes all the way down to the improvements level. So I touched on before in the platform overview that improvements were editable. I'm going to just explain how that works. So if you go into platform here, you can see that at the moment we've got 31 published improvements from bay roof installation, ground source heat pump, assessment, solid floor, etc., etc. Some of them published, some of them not. And essentially what this means is if you're delivering a specific program or you only want to make certain improvements available for the organizer, the people that you are sharing the platform with, providing the platform for, only want those improvements for them to be able to kind of see the impact that it might have on their home, or you only provide certain improvements and therefore you only want to allow those to be quotable for, or your contractors only provide certain improvements, then you can simply, if you don't want them to appear on the platform, all you do is you go to here, we've got published, you move it back to draft, or you wouldn't publish it in the first place. What you can also do within each of these is, I don't know, I've jumped out. I will carry on with, let's go back to suspended floor insulation. Every element is editable. So you've got title, you can change the title. You've got a description, what does it do? You can change the description. You can put in an image. So you might feel, obviously we have all of these, but you might feel that there are more appropriate images, more appropriate languages, etc., that you want to include. And then there's the quoting process as well. So in another video, if you've watched it, you will have seen that we have this two-stage quoting process, which is potentially that there's an online estimate that takes place first, where the contractor just receives the property details and not the details from a user. So if they're requesting an estimate or to get a quote, and this is for people who are operating on the self-funded route. So you can make it estimable and quotable, and that means that there is an estimate stage, and then it goes to a quote if the user essentially accepts the estimate and says, yes, I want to take it a step further forward. You can turn that off completely. So you can actually say, do you know what, we don't have any contractors who can deliver that, but we still want to provide that for information, or you might have a dual purpose platform where you're delivering grant funded delivery, and you are delivering that particular type of work through grants, but actually there aren't any contractors available for anyone in the self-funded space if you're covering off both things. And so you would turn off estimable and quotable there. Or you can say only quotable. So for instance, in the case of heat pumps, typically it's far too complex for heat pump installers to be able to make a digital estimate of any sort of accuracy. And so therefore they would typically go to only quotable, but also you can eliminate the estimate stage if you want to. So you can do that on every given improvement. You can also then go into the content in terms of all of the different elements of this. So you've got introduction, explaining what it's all about, again, more supporting imagery. We have pros and cons actually changed to benefits and considerations now in the production version of the platform. This is hasn't been updated in the demo version. It's just because the language, cons seemed a little bit too negative, but essentially you can tell them what are the benefits of having this work done, but also what are the things to consider, so that you're not sugarcoating it, making sure that that the users are aware of the elements that they should be aware of. Grants and financing, again, any information that you have about that, you can provide external links to different finance providers or different grants as well. All of that is editable, and also what to expect. And you may have additional information and sort of links to external sources of information around what to expect. All of that is editable. The other area that we have in there is actually the ability to have a promo. So perhaps there's a particular offer on that type of on that type of work from certain contractors. You can essentially create a promotion to give it a title, give it a description. You might have a logo, and that will pop up when people look at that particular type of improvement. So there you go. That gives you an idea of the flexibility and editability of the improvements on the platform.